Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie. Another quarter is over, and so it's time to do another flip through my B6 Sterling 8 Common Planner. This is the half-year version. Do we need to do a fluff check? Here we are. I'm not going to get the new one to compare it to, but it's decently fluffy. I've had fluffier, but it's definitely been a well-used book, and there's a whole story to tell as we do the flip through. So today I'll talk about how I've been using things, but I'll try not to get too far into what I'm going to do going forward, because that's a whole system kind of discussion with my passport and my work planner, and I'll film that as a separate video. So I'll try to keep this to mostly flip through, but obviously like process and flip through are related. So it took me a long time to actually sew up the clear cover for this. I put this Planner's Anonymous vellum in it. This was from the creative kit, the digital. I printed it out on vellum. I don't remember if this was the vellum that was in the kit or not too. I don't think so. And then actually I've made this clear cover with like a flap here so that I can slide a little scratch notebook in, and I've actually found that incredibly handy because it can be open while my planner is open, and I'm really enjoying that. There might be more of this kind of behavior in 2025, but we're not talking about that right now. Okay, in terms of flipping through, usually I would start with the weeks and then go to the daily, but because of the whole planner switching up that I've been doing, I'm actually going to start from the daily and move to the weekly, but we can do the monthlies here first. I've never really been much of a monthly planner, so I've been using it as a currently inked page. Here's April and May and June. This isn't quite up to date. Apparently it's a very pink kind of. But that's just how I've been using it all year. Occasionally I try to do something else in it and it never sticks. I'm not a monthly planner, paper planner. I am a digital planner for, forward planning at that scale. Okay, let's go talk about the dailies. So through quarter one, and this is also what I did all of last year, I was doing this kind of style where I broke it into 2 columns, and I'm just journaling around the stickers. In April, so right at Q4, I decided I needed to change it up, and so I think it was April here. Well, we're flipping through anyway, so here at the beginning of April, I was still doing that. These are stickers from Planner's Anonymous. This was, this is like a copy of a painting I did about the total eclipse that I got to see. Here's the Tortured Poets Department launch. There's going to be a lot of missed pages as we talk through that. I'm working on being okay with that. Here is where we make the switch, and I have talked about this on the channel before, but if you're mostly into flips, you probably haven't seen it. So instead of that kind of freeform journaling, I decided I wanted to try my hand at like a more daily spread with like the events and the tasks and the intention, and it started off as a 2 pages per day. It varies some now, depending on the day, but what I really enjoyed about this was like it felt really, really satisfying to fill a whole spread in a day. The decisions that I made in terms of decor for today only affected today. I had gotten pretty tired, like worn out of the weekly spreads. We'll talk about that, but so I moved it to this kind of memory keeping, hourly memory keeping, to not have all the fancy lettering and here, and I've found that a relief. Not that I didn't enjoy it, because I did, but it was too much. A lot of what we're talking about is like learning to peel back where it's too much, and this might seem like a lot, but it's actually very simple for me, but also I don't do it every day. We'll get into that. But I had journaled, I'd missed so many journaling days. You know, this spread goes from April 19th to the 25th. That I had enough daily pages left to do 2 pages per day for the rest of the quarter. And I skipped some days. So I actually have something like 15 spare pages or something. But then there's room for like some currentlies, and I just found it like a very focusing experience that I really, really liked. So going to be a bunch of these. A lot of these stickers are Planners Anonymous. I will point out when they are from somewhere else, like these, which are from Karina Loves to Plan. And so are these from Karina Loves to Plan. I also love this because there's room for photos, and I have put a lot more photos in lately, and I really enjoy that. So here we are getting into May. These have been Planners Anonymous stickers. It's actually an interesting way to use box stickers too, which I don't currently have a different use for. Washi tape. I found it to be a very inspiring kind of spread. These are actually from the Happy Planner. I still have a couple of those kicking around. Just, you know, random lists. I've put some sticky notes over pictures of people's faces, but a lot more photos now. This was a trip I took to the East Coast. Like room for lots of pictures, which I really enjoyed. I had started in the old version. I had these like Megan Rhiannon style dots to show what topics were discussed in the margins, and I'm just terrible at doing it. So I left this margin to do it, but I regularly didn't. And now that I actually have the like weekly, like the hourly layout, I actually that is essentially a good description of what is going to be in the journaling pages as well. Break of format. I had more I wanted to say, and I didn't have any tasks. So I went back to the 2 columns here. I like how flexible this is. Like, I just adjust it. Here's using like a sidebar, which I don't think I've done before or since, but it's nice to be able to do it here. Again, I didn't have any tasks. I was on vacation, so this was all just memory keeping. Here are some days I missed. There's some photos that I'd like to print and put here, but let's be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to remember. Back to the stickers. I've also gotten really into, these are stamps that I've stamped onto marker paper and colored in with alcohol markers and then glued in. That's a really, really fun thing to do. Sometimes it's also just stamps right on here. I've been more into stamps lately. All my like daily dates are stamps as well. I've also been drawing more in here. I've really cut down how many stickers I'm buying. I'm on a stationery budget for the year. I still get all the Planners Anonymous ones, but that subscription is still active, but I've really cut down other places. And it's a weird thing that the less I buy, the less I use, even though I'm trying to not buy so that I use the old stuff. So anyway, but there's room, and I like to draw, and sometimes like I don't have a sticker for what I want, you know, and so just have to draw it in. Room to still do some lettering when I feel like it. Again, drawing in here. Is this where I started adding the weather? I think I started adding the weather here. Those are stamped in. I really like these kind of highlight stickers from Karina Loves to Plan kits. I use those a lot. These are from the Happy Planner. Still occasionally doing this, but missing it a lot of the time. These are from Nib and Fleur, printable kits. And these are from Karina Loves the Plan. And now we're back to Planners Anonymous. Drawing in, because sometimes that's just the best way of describing my day. This is a full sheet Planners Anonymous sticker. I had filled this whole spread out, and then we'd gotten some bad news, and so I didn't want to write about it, and so I just stuck that in there. These are a mix of things. These stickers are from Caitlin Plans. The washi is from Simply Gilded, and the strawberries are things I painted myself and scanned and printed on sticker paper. Here's another trip, and often when I travel, the structure changes and I miss days. So this was just all photos from the day. And again, some journaling. There weren't any tasks, so all I have for events here. And then back to the usual. And then here I started missing days. So at this point, I'd been doing it since April pretty consistently. I missed a few days, but not a lot. But here's where I start really missing days. And so I have to kind of change things up. So this was a 2-page per day spread that I never journaled in. I actually went back and filled some of this in later. These were just happy mail that I got. And then here's where I start experimenting with what do these pages look like if it's a day I'm not going to do a lot and I just want to have it all on one page, because I set these margins up first thing in the morning generally, and I don't always know then if it's going to be a 2-page day or a 1-page day. So here's me experimenting with what some of that might look like. So instead of having events take up the whole 1 page, I've compressed it way down, so there's still room for the tasks, and that works fine. I did it again here, but never journaled. Here I've finally gotten rid of that margin, and I've swapped. So what I've done here is on days I don't have a sense of how, if it's a 1-page day or a 2-page day, I can do the weather and the intention of the task. Those are the things I do first thing in the morning, and I can have them on this 1 page. And I can add the events later when I know if it's a 1-page day or a 2-page day. I can add them here or there, depending on how much detail I feel like going in. It just gives me some flexibility so that I don't skip halves of pages. And I like the flexibility. But I do kind of need my task list first thing in the morning on the days that I do it at all. So, whatever. So yeah, here's a 2-page, it's the same thing, 2 pages per day, but again, the events move to the other side. I still feel like I like the events better on the left, at a gut level, but not enough to overcome the practicalities here. So, got back into it for a bit. And then here we're down to 1 page per day, tasks, events added later, once I know how much space I have. Same thing on this side. I think this was all backfilled, the journaling, a little. I don't backfill very far. If I've really missed it, then I just let it go. Then back to 2 pages per day. On weekends, which I'm pretty sure this is, I more often do 2 pages per day, and on weekdays it could go either way. But that's what's going on here. And then this is the current week. So today is the 29th, and I have not journaled since the 23rd, so it's been a whole week. I am going on yet another trip, and I needed some bathing suits that I didn't have, and I just went on a total sewing binge and haven't touched any of my paper planners at all. It's just been sewing and whatever, and so I just drew pictures of what I've been making and glued them in. So we got that, and then here's today, and I do plan to get back. I've kind of finished this binge, at least for now, and I'm back to normal. So this is today, although it's like 2 o'clock, so I gotta start getting some of this going. But here, so I'm on page 149. Oh no, I have way more pages left over than I thought I did. So I did some like cutting stuff out. So 150 to 182. So I have about 32 pages I didn't use, and I feel sad about that. I would prefer to have finished them all, but sometimes it's useful to like have it as paper I can cut out or something. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I am disappointed. Here we are. I guess I still have today and tomorrow. I could really go on a journaling binge, but I don't have that much to say, so. All right, let's backtrack to the weeklies, because now you can see that a lot of weekly stuff got moved to the daily, so we can talk about what the weeklies have looked like. So let's refresh our memory on what Q1 was like. So starting in mid-year last year, this is what I've been doing. So this is 3 full quarters of doing things this way, where it's memory keeping, elaborate lettering, lots of stickers, many colors. It was a whole thing. And I really enjoyed flipping through them, but they were a thing I procrastinated doing, and I had to backfill them a lot of the time, and I got tired of doing it. The theme of 2024 is trying to let go of the backfilling to marginal success. So it does mean sometimes that like I just was skipping them. Like there were skipped weeks, and there were weeks that I only kind of did it. So in Q1, I guess in Q2, I did keep up with it for a couple weeks. These are Planners Anonymous stickers again. This was the Eclipse week. These are from the Giving Girl, Planners Anonymous, and me painting on them, and Karina Loves to Plan. Here, these are from JoJo's Pretty Papers Luxury Advent. And these are from Planners Anonymous, and this is the week I gave up. I wanted to do it. I loved the stickers, I loved the spread, and I didn't do it. And I just said it was time to stop making myself do it if I didn't want to do it. So I skipped, how many? So if we count this one, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then during that time, I was doing all this stuff in my dailies, right? So like that stuff was still getting caught. It was just getting caught elsewhere. And I just didn't know what the weeklies were for anymore. And I strongly considered, switching planners to something that didn't have the weeklies at all, so that like I didn't feel guilty about not filling them in. But after 4 or 5 weeks, I decided I needed them again. In particular, I needed like a meal planning and home kind of planner. So kind of advanced planning. So what's wonderful about my dailies is that they keep me on task for that day, but I needed a place for forward thinking, and in particular thinking ahead so that we didn't run out of cooked food and be caught by surprise for it. So this top section is like what we're eating for lunch and dinner, mostly so that like I know how many servings of Hawaiian chicken we have, and so I can like essentially pre-fill it and then not be surprised when we've run out. But then, so that's that top section. The second section here is like food related tasks, going to the grocery store, getting bread dough rising, that kind of thing. And then these are just non-day specific tasks. And that's pretty much what's going on here. Again, I've just been slowly massaging it into something else. I've been very gentle with myself on the weeklies for these last couple months. I don't care if they're aesthetic or not. I'm just trying to narrow in on what's working for me in this current stage of life. But they are getting decorated. I mean, I've got the stickers. So these are from JoJo's Pretty Paper. I painted these. That's from Karina Loves to Plan. But again, about the same thing here. 2 lists, like home and not home. And then some of that meal planning kinds of stuff. These are from Planners Anonymous. Again, this week I didn't decorate, but I did use it. And that's what matters. It looks like it helped me. I didn't do Sunday, and apparently I didn't backfill it, and that's fine. We're not backfilling. This is this week. As I said, I got really into sewing, and I didn't touch this at all after I set it up. So, so it goes. We didn't starve. This is more about like feeling organized. I don't need this stuff all of the time. It just helps. So I am going to go back to doing this, although I'm on vacation next week. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it while I'm on vacation. But when I go back to normal life, this is how I plan to go back to using it for right now. I really like the Sterling Ink Common Planners because the layout is so flexible. I mean, it's got the hourlies, it's got the columns, but it's very easy to draw over and ignore and repurpose and whatever. And so when I have thought about switching planners, I just keep coming back to the idea of how malleable this one is and how I can make it anything I want. And if I pick something else, it might better suit what I'm currently doing, but it probably will be less amenable to the ways I might want to change it when something inevitably changes in my system. So I'm not a planner hopper in the sense of like switching physical books, but I am a planner hopper in the sense that I will wildly change how I'm using them. So I need something that will be amenable to that. So I hope you enjoyed my flip through. I did talk a decent amount about what's going on, but I'm gonna have another video uploading soon that kind of incorporates how my passport planner is going and how my work planner is going, because that's all a system together. So we'll do mid-year planner system update in a different video. I hope you enjoyed this flip, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.